Hey guys, welcome back to the NIcKey Performance channel. NIcKey Performance of Loves Park. When fast just isn't fast enough. So here we've got our 2017 50th anniversary ZL1, known as Kryptonite, but it is also one of the evil twins. We built two virtually identical cars, serialized number 3, one we built prior to this one, and then this one, our shop car number 4. We recently just finished up summer 2026, and to give you an idea, 5 tracks, our average run was a 929 at about 150 miles an hour at the drag strip, and our best was a 924. That was us obviously driving to the track, driving from track to track, not a cool down run in the heat of the summer, and we're trying to stick within that 90 and 150 range, which the NHRA allows us to run the car without a cage, no cage whatsoever, and no parachute. We are required to run a diaper or a belly pan, and we custom fabbed a belly pan for this, which works real nice because you can remove it and drive without it and install it at the track very easily. I ran the car with the belly pan on the whole time just to see how it was in the real world, and it worked out really well. Obviously, it does hang a little lower than anything does factory stock based on the requirements of the pan per NHRA. So I did have a couple of times where I did scrape it, but nothing major, and it can be removed very easily, a lot easier than a diaper. And regardless of what has been said, a diaper on a car like this, there's very little room for air to travel around the engine, and it's going to radiate heat into the diaper. We have tried diapers, they're a real pain in the butt, and there's just not a lot of room for them. So we dealt with that. But the car ran flawlessly, over 1,000 miles of driving. We didn't trailer to the track, we drove to the track and home from the track. This is our 4th year of summer, and again, we're showing our customers what can be done with the setup. Now, this car will run quicker and faster. However, we're trying to stay right at that 90 number, and we did have a drive shaft let go on a practice day, so we did not get a chance to tune the car. We ran with the tune basically as what we had when we brought the car there. So once you run the number, the key is consistency, to try to run as close to that number as possible. It wasn't the objective at that point, wasn't trying to run close to the 90, so we definitely could have gone a little bit quicker and a little bit closer to that 90 index, but everything was fine. We made that this year. We had the 60th fastest car at the event out of 318 cars, so we made the top 100 again, as we've done every year that we've done this. I believe we had the fastest 2016 or newer vehicle that did not run a parachute or a cage, and we had a lot of competition. We had Cobras, we had Hellcats, we had even, I believe there was at least one Demon for sure, but a lot of really, really fast cars. So this car is basically, we've run it up until this point with a stock bottom end, stock transmission, and stock converter. This year, we upgraded the converter to a Circle D. We consistently left in second gear, nice and easy, because I put the stock drive shaft back in because I had to loan somebody else my backup drive shaft, and so I didn't want to come off the line as hard as I normally could, and we're foot braking, so we're not coming off the line really hard. I mean, I was coming off the line maybe 1,500 RPM, and with this converter, I can flash all the way up to, you know, well over 2,000 RPM. The key is just whether or not the track is prepped, and so that'll help us drop our ETs as well. So Circle D converter. This has the single disc clutch, which was initially recommended to me by the engineers, and up until this point, the factory converter was holding just fine with about 1,000 wheel horsepower. We were just a little bit over 1,000 wheel on E85, which actually measured out to about E75. That's about what we get here at the pumps in the summer in the Midwest. And I didn't want to change the fuel because that's what I can get as I'm driving across the Midwest at the gas station, and I know that it'll be generally consistent. So E75 is what we ran it at. Certainly full E85 will make just a little bit more power and run just a little bit cooler, but a fuel like Ignite or VP E85 tends to run a little bit better, make a little bit more power. So the car's absolutely fun to drive. This is our stage 2 camshaft. With a stock muffler. I went back to the stock mufflers because even the system we were using had a little bit of drone, and I like to be able to make phone calls and listen to tunes while I got the air conditioning on and enjoy my car, and the drone was bothering me. It wasn't bad, but the drone is almost non-existent with the stock muffler, and I do have another solution because I want to get a little bit more sound and idle out of the car, so we're going to do that. So this year we made some cooling upgrades, which up to this point we never ran we never had cooling modifications. So we have AFCO intercooler up front along with the side coolers, and that more than doubles the capacity of the coolant. We are going to add additional cooling to the car via a fender cooling tank, keep it out of the way. We installed an iron block L8T engine with some LME heads and our stage 2 camshaft. And I have not run the car on the dyno yet. We've street tuned it and track tuned it. And I can tell you that we're at this point, we're about the same horsepower level, but we're comfortable in that we can push this engine harder because of the components. So it's a completely built engine. There, other than the block and the stock L8T crankshaft, there is just about nothing stock on this engine. It does feature the 2650 Magnuson. We did add about 100 pounds of weight to the front end, and I'm actually surprised that the car still handles really, really good. You can feel the weight, and what I did was when I was done with the drag and drive, as you can see, I've got the 5th gen ZL1 wheels on it right now. I took off my drag pack, and I didn't even change the alignment. I didn't change the pulley setup. It was still set on our max horsepower level that we ran for 6 summer, and we went to the Road America Wisconsin Camaro Fest and did the autocross there. No, I did not have the quickest car around the autocross. It was very, very difficult to get this car to hook. Everything I tried, I would either spin the tires and lose momentum, and I couldn't carry as much speed as I wanted to in the corners. But it did well, and we had a lot of fun. But this car is not designed for autocross. I do have the smaller rear brake calipers in the rear for the 15-inch track pack. However, on the big track, the 4-mile track, Road America, this car kicks ass. It is fast. It handles, and I've got to get used to that extra weight on the front end of the car going into corners, because it does push a lot easier than it did, and I did not have my track alignment. I was also not running at max 10/10 race speed. But what's neat about our cars is that you can just have a lot of fun with these. They are not a one-dimensional type of vehicle. They are true supercars. And it seems like most of the focus from builders is the quarter-mile ET, and certainly that's important. It's important to us too. So here we have a car that is capable with a drag pack on it on a good DA day, running the right fuel, will crack an 8-second quarter mile, and you can bring it, you change up the pulley combo, slow down the supercharger a little bit, change the alignment, and put some different wheels and tires on it, and go beat up on virtually any supercar that is made to date. I mean, exotic cars, Porsches, Vipers. We're beating dedicated race cars that weigh 1,000 pounds or more less than we do. Of course, they don't have quite the horsepower we do, but we're putting those cars to shame on that big track. These cars have the power to go fast, and they handle. And you can drive them cross country here. They're just, every time I get in this car, I just think, wow, what a great option package this is. And I feel bad for the guys that have built cars that can't use them and drive them daily. One of the big advantages of a NIcKey supercar conversion is the drivability. These things drive awesome. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, post the questions in the comments. I will do the best I can to answer the questions and let you know what we're using and the parts and how we install them. This particular car, I'll put a listing down here, but does feature the 2 high PSI port injection system, which the way we integrate it with our tune works seamlessly and flawlessly. There is no on and off transition. You do not know that the other injectors and pump are kicking on. And I know a lot of people have talked about issues they've had getting these tuned, but that is really up to the tuner. These kits have been out now for years. We've done many of these kits, and what we like is the tunability and the drivability of the setup. There are other setups that work to make power, and we've tried them, and we like this setup the best at this point. So please check in on a regular and see how we're doing.